I need everyone to be quiet really quickly and just ask your mind if there's anyone there. Did you hear anyone? If you did, you have DID. I'm just kidding. Obviously, DID is much more incredibly complex than this, but on some Discord servers, this is literally equivalent to a diagnosis. What would you do if you were on a role-playing server with your friends and they told you that you have a complex dissociative disorder? In story number 2, we are going to be talking about someone who is very confused as to why people who are blatantly faking DID come off as so obvious. I do understand that DID is different for every single person that has it, but sometimes we can see superficial research evident on the screen. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's get into the video. I was in a server a while back. An IRL friend of mine rolled it a lot. I finally caved and joined. It started out as a role-playing server, but eventually ended up turning into just a server where we talk. 3 or 4 of the 9 claimed they had DID. Anyways, one night we were hanging out, chatting, etc., and eventually got on the topic of DID and how they thought I had it because I struggle with memory loss. No idea what that's from still. And they told me, oh, just yell, anyone up here? And if anyone responds, you have DID. If only diagnoses were that easy. So I had nothing better to do, and also peer pressure and stuff, so I did it. And heard a popular character at the time. And it was fun, if you can say that, to have DID. I would mess around, and it was like they were actually there. Fun. So I messed around, making responses that sounded like what the characters would say, and told the server. Eventually, we made a separate server just for DID. I will admit, it was my idea, as I was really into having it. So we would hang out in this server and countless wacky antics would ensue. For instance, one alter said they lost their host, then spent 40 minutes stressing everyone looking for the host. The next day, a different person did the same thing, looped for a week. Please note they were talking about having fully formed alters and a fully formed headspace at the age of 14, which if you know DID, that's not how it works. I tried saying that I didn't have DID. They would always say stuff like, if you think you're faking, you aren't faking. And DID is a covert mental illness. It doesn't want to be known, etc. It was a perpetual cycle of affirmation, and hard to tell them I genuinely didn't have it. Each of them had 5 to 8 long plural kit lists full of every character from the media they'd showed interest in. I'm scared to leave, as I'm still in the group. Hopefully they don't see this, LMAO, and any advice would be greatly appreciated. I'm only here because I saw your vids and saw how cult-like it was. The pressure to conform to social norms is an incredibly powerful social influence. It seems like OP in this situation, you literally feel like these people, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe they don't want to be your friend if you admit that, hey, I don't have DID. I'm definitely not a professional. I don't specialize in dissociative disorders, so I would definitely say to take this with a grain of salt. But in this story, and even in the fact that you want to share your story, you know that what's happening is wrong. That is commendable. You have the understanding that role-playing is one thing and saying that you have a complex dissociative disorder is another. When you're at a young age, you might not even realize the harm that you could be doing to yourself and the dissociative disorders community in the way that your friends might not really want to hurt the DID community. They're just trying to explore their identity. Even if it is a small group online and you're not spreading misinformation on the internet, there is a risk that this is a maladaptive behavior. In these situations, individuals might believe and start to act on these behaviors. For some, it can even affect your daily life functioning. Some believe that, it helps them to understand themselves better. In a lot of cases where people might believe they have DID only to realize that they don't, some might admit that it actually made them less connected to who they are. For OP, it might be good to consider seeking help from a mental health professional about amnesia. A professional can provide an accurate diagnosis and appropriate support for you. If the group dynamics are causing distress or confusion, it might be advisable to set boundaries with them. This could involve reducing your participation or having to leave the group altogether, which can be very hard, and I know that there's another obvious action you can take where you say, hey, listen, I'm not telling you guys what you have, but I'm just saying that I know that I don't have DID. If they don't believe you, listen. When I was 14, my maturity level was lower than the other people around me, so it could just be that you were at a different maturity level. Hey, I mean, it could be that the group doesn't even realize the pressure that they are putting on you. This is just one option. I know it can be hard to say, like, listen, I'm just going to drop all of these great friends of mine. But you could also look for different communities or support networks that more align with you and your experiences. In this situation, OP, I wouldn't say that there is any right or wrong answer. Some group members might not respond positively, and it's important to prioritize your own well-being. It's almost like they did 5 minutes of research on TikTok and didn't put any effort into looking up symptoms of it on Mayo Clinic or some other medical website. If they already decided they wanted to fake a serious mental illness, why aren't they at least trying to make it believable? So this is a tricky topic because, like I said, I don't specialize in dissociative disorders, so I can't blatantly look at a TikTok and say, fake. While DID is different for every single person who has it, there is diagnostic criteria that needs to be filled for you to have a diagnosis. So in this situation, you kind of answered your own question. When people purposefully fake DID, they might be relying solely on things like TikTok rather than reputable literature. On TikTok and in these situations, portrayals are often dramatized and inaccurate. There's even a few systems online who say like, hey, I felt like I needed to dramatize my alters in order to feel valid online. Also, DID is more than just having alters. It includes dissociative symptoms, memory gaps, and criteria that is hard to replicate online when you don't have it. Also, some individuals might literally just be doing it for attention and validation. They don't care whether they're accurate or not. The desire for immediate gratification outweighs the need for authenticity. It's much easier, and for these people maybe even fun, to watch a few TikToks and then replicate it rather than looking at reputable sources. The faker's awareness of their deceit conflicts with their need to appear genuine. This can lead to inconsistencies and inaccurate symptom portrayals. On parts of the internet, there can also be an echo chamber where misinformation is spread like wildfire. So individuals might encounter and mimic these misrepresentations of what the disorder really is. Social media trends simplify topics to make them more engaging. This leads to inaccurate and oversimplified portrayals of DID symptoms. I'm not really naming specifics here about what is blatantly fake or not because I'm not this person's therapist or professional. But people with DID can endure immense struggles and suffering. Faking this disorder can trivialize it and lead to misunderstandings about it. Let me know what you think about either one of the stories I talked about, and if you have nothing else to say, tell me, what is your favorite song of all time? That's an incredibly difficult question. I was gonna try to answer it here. Whale? I don't know. Libra moment. So anyways, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn the bell on if you're feeling risky, and comment below. Thank you so much. It helps with the algorithm. And thank you so much to each and every one of my members for supporting my efforts on this channel. It literally means the world to me. But to everyone, I hope you have a good day, night, whatever the case may be, and peace out.